Brad, Jared Waite goes out this week. Just thought that he's had enough under his belt the last 2 games?
Yeah, Jared Waite, Magic Door, both played 2 games. I've mentioned before that we're trying to shuffle our forward line a little bit and just work out the best mix. So I think most teams will probably treat this week as a bit of a dress rehearsal, and we're no different in some regards, but we still need to manage game loads into everyone. We're really keen to see Mason Wood again this week. So, Jared's played 2 games and is ready to play. So, we'll give Mason the game in preference.
That forward line, do you know how it's going to look? I mean, you have got so many tours. I know you've addressed it before, but are you getting any closer?
No, hopefully this is the final piece in the puzzle. And it may not be, but it's certainly another piece in the puzzle, and we get an opportunity against good opposition to have a look at a different structure again, and hopefully we'll have all the information we need to make an informed decision come round 1.
How many can you play? How many of the big guys do you think?
There's no limit on it. I mean, I think you can. It's more about athleticism and mobility. We think it can be a real weapon for us, but the taller you get, generally, the less mobile you get. So we'll just have to strike that balance, and we haven't worked it out yet, but hopefully we're not too far away.
Is that added flexibility that you could have this year, Brad, perhaps a bit of a added, weapon that you'll look to utilise?
At different stages. But look, I don't think we're any different to a lot of other teams. I see Richmond this week. Griffiths probably comes in and plays, and Vickery and Rewalt, and they've got a lot of options as well. So we're not. I don't think we're that unique compared to other clubs in the competition.
Could Lockie Hansen, Brad, play round 1 without perhaps playing VFL practice match next weekend?
Well, he's a terrific athlete and a really good runner. And he's done a lot of conditioning. So, look, I wouldn't rule him out. Put it that way, Nick. But it's fair to say that there are others who have had a better preparation. So, if he trains fully, he's a chance to be selected, and if he's cleared by the medicos, then he's a chance.
You said at the end of last year when you went out in the prelim that you admitted that you'll put that next step off. Is that a pre-season? Can you take that in a pre-season, or does it take sort of the first half of the home and away season to realise you've taken that next step?
Oh, that won't be answered until the end of 2015. So we haven't fired a shot in anger yet. So we're a long way away from being able to answer that question. But that'll be there for everyone to see. I won't need to say anything.
How close, Brad, is Taylor Garner to getting back on the field?
Hopefully not too far away. I mean, he's the cliched couple of weeks away, and he seems like he's been that way for a while, but we're just being ultra cautious with him. He's obviously missed a lot of footy, and he's a really valuable player for us, and when we get him back, we want him back full time. So again, I'm hopeful it's a couple of weeks, but we won't take any risks or rush him.
And how do you plan to use the week between this game, Brad, and round 1?
Similarly to how we've used the last week. I think the NAB challenge this year has been outstanding for us. We've loved the format. 3 competitive games against opposition, enough break in between games to get game time into our entire list. And so we'll have a similar sort of build-up to round 1 to what we have for this game.
Some have said it's too long, so obviously you don't subscribe to that.
No, I don't. I think, look, and we're different. I mean, a lot of clubs play intra-club games. We don't. So, we really need the 3 NAB Challenge games, and as I said, we'd love the format. So, if others have a different view, that's fair enough, but it's certainly suited us really well.
Do you think you have improvement to do with the development of your younger players? How are guys like Luke McDonald tracking?
Yeah, Luke's going well. Luke had a rest last week or last game, and he'll come back in this week. And yeah, we hope that he'll add to the improvement. I think that there are a lot of different ways you can look at it. I mean, we've brought in a couple of new players. We're hoping to get full seasons out of others. Some of our other good players who missed a fair chunk last year. So there's a whole variety of factors, but we're going to need to improve across the board to get better as a team.
Do you anticipate, Brad, playing many of the guys in VFL practice matches next weekend?
We will, but only because we're in a unique situation, and I know there's a second tier review going on at the moment, but some of our players haven't played a game of football yet. We've got a dual alignment who have played on different weeks, so our North Ballarat players are playing their first game this weekend. So that's far from ideal for us, so those players will have to play next week as well, and we'll expect dispensation from the AFL to allow them to play.
Sorry to go back to the forward line. Obviously, with that competition for spots, those guys would be acutely aware for it. Have you almost noticed amongst them that realisation, I guess?
Look, they're not silly. I mean, they can see, that there's competition there. But I've been just ecstatic at the way they've been working together. We've stressed as a team that we're going to pick the forward structure that works best, not the best players, and then put them together. So all of the boys have been working in really well with each other, been really encouraging each other and helping each other, and because they know we're going to pick the system and not the players. So the teammanship within that forward competition has been really good.
Sorry, but do you expect to get that dispensation? And just to be clear, you will be concerned that the alignment of the VFL and the AFL at this time of the year isn't married up?
Oh, look, it's far from ideal, but that's why there's a second tier review going on at the moment. So it hasn't been good for us, and that's absolutely through no fault of Werribee or North Ballarat. That's just the vagaries of fixturing the pre-season. So, but there's no doubt we'll be able to have players play next week because they'll play their first game this weekend.
Most clubs at this time of year say they're focusing on themselves and the processes that you want to put in place, but given that you've got some stars back in that midfield that you're facing, do you have any plans already for them, even though it's a pre-season game?
Yeah, I think it is about ourselves mostly, but I mean, we're apt that Richmond look to have picked a really strong squad. They're in really good form. They've had 2 good wins in the pre-season so far, so we think it's ideal preparation for us. And hopefully Trent Cotchin plays, and Martin's in great form. Delidio's a great player. So it's going to give our midfield challenges, and we'll prepare like we would for a normal game.
Brad, I believe they're going to trial. Among the trials, they're going to have the roof half open or half closed, whichever way you want to look at it.
Do you ask someone else about the roof?
What are you?
I've talked about it too much, I reckon. No. In all seriousness, I think I spoke to Mark Evans yesterday, who just whether he rang me directly or not, I'm not sure. Just in addition to the press conference and the emails, but the NAB challenge is the perfect time to trial these things. So a roof slightly open, whatever makes the game a better spectacle for the fans, whatever makes it better for the broadcasters is a good thing. I've always believed that the roof closed makes it look better, but we've got to trial these things, and I'm all for trialling it this week.
There's no rain around on Sunday.
I think that's Mark's concern. But if it rains, you won't get one single complaint out of me.